my channel. My name is Jacinda, and this is a channel about cross stitch. Welcome to anybody new. Welcome back to anybody who saw the first video, and especially those who've subscribed. That was like crazy to me that I get 60 some people after one video, especially after not uploading for several months. I'm sorry about that. Life is crazy. I'm going to start right off by saying that my upload frequency for the future is an unknown. My internet sucks, and I don't always have time to film like I thought I would, so might be a little here and there, a little dodgy in the future, but I'm going to do what I can, and hopefully pretty soon I'm going to be getting new internet this weekend. Hopefully that'll be a lot better than what I've got right now, and that'll fix the problem. So we'll see. If you watch the first video, you'll notice that this is a bit of a scene change. I'm in my sewing room this time instead of the dining room. I've got stuff everywhere. It's all over here. I've got stuff stacked. Got my ironing board right here. It's functioning as a side table right now. It's got stuff all the way down, as well as on the sewing machine, which is like out of frame that way. So there's stuff spread out. I've got a lot to talk about, which I've got 27 minutes left on my timer, so hopefully we can see what we do. Probably get under that time. I start to talk fast when I'm nervous because I have no idea what I'm doing. So, what has happened since April when I uploaded my first video? I got to go spend some time with a friend down in Seattle. He was on a team at University of Washington that built a rocket, actually, and so he invited me down to go to the unveiling, and that was pretty neat. And afterwards we went out and had dumplings. He'd never had soup dumplings before, so I got to introduce him to the magic of soup dumplings. They're amazing. If you haven't had them, go try them. Find a place with them. You might have to drive a while, but it's worth it. After that, I went to Japan with my little brother. We were there just over a week, I think. It like flew by. It was so quick. Way too quick, actually. I am planning on going back soon if I can afford the flight, which right now is just shy of $900. Then I'm gonna go either the end of September or mid to late October, but I don't know. $900 is a lot for that flight, so I might just wait and push it back until maybe April, when I can go for, I don't know, 2-3 weeks and see quite a bit of the country. I enjoyed it last time when I got the train pass and went from Tokyo to Kyoto to Himeji, and then around to Osaka, and then back up to Tokyo. So maybe I'll do that again. Let me see. What do I got on my notes over here? So besides those big events, I've just kind of been floating through life at the moment. I don't really have anything in particular, like work goals wise or personal goals wise, besides my travel plans. Just a little aimless right now, and I think that happens to everybody. We'll see. I'm kind of really hoping to get some traction with some stuff pretty soon, and then, you know, I might have exciting updates for my life. Who knows? Yeah. Let's get into stitchy stuff, shall we? Let's start with some haul. So, when I was in Japan, I bought a lot of stuff. I always do. Most of it was fabric related for sewing because they have a lot more stuff for that. I did go to a couple embroidery shops. However, their prices, I was expecting it to be maybe about the same as the US, or maybe a little lower for some things, but that was not the case. That was not the case at all. All I bought cross-stitch wise was one skein of Threadworks to replace a color in the project that I took with me, and it was, I think one skein of Threadworks was 480 yen at the shop I bought it at, which is just shy of $5, which is more than what you would typically see here. I mean, even in some of the shops that I have nearby, Threadworks is like just shy of $4 a skein. So I was kind of like, maybe not. Even DMC was almost $1 a skein. And I was like, whoa. I will not be buying cross-stitch supplies in Japan. Fabric, yes. Cross-stitch supplies, no. I didn't see a single kit that was under $100. So, yeah, I didn't really buy much. I did buy quite a bit of stuff. If you can see the pile going on in the corner back there. I did buy a bunch of stuff for project bags because I've started experimenting with that. That's what's going on right here. I've got my stuff laid out. I just have to sew it together. Yeah, so let's see some of the stuff that I got. I should have laid this out, so I might cut some of this out as I'm like reaching for things. I'm gonna have to remember stuff that I bought. Well, let's start with some fabric. I ended up buying a meter of this fabric because it is fantastic, and I'm gonna use it for a project bag and maybe a grocery bag or two. We'll see, but it's awesome. I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me just move it in. Look how freaking cute that is. I can't tell if it's focusing because my camera does not have a front-facing view screen. I've got a mirror set up behind it, and it's kind of janky, but we're running with it. But yeah, this fabric, a meter, was 400 yen. That's $4, guys, for a meter of fabric. And this is nice quilting cotton. I always buy a bunch of fabric when I go to Japan because, like, the most I've seen for quilting cotton, like, imported fabrics, which are typically US manufactured fabrics, will go for maybe 1,000 yen a meter, sometimes 1,100, which is $11, which is cheaper than it is here in the States. Most quilt shops are $11 to $12 a yard, and a meter you get a tiny bit more. So go fabric shopping in Japan. What else? There's a couple others. Both of these fabrics I've purchased in Japan as well. This one is really cute. You're gonna notice the theme with all these fabrics. Can you guys see that? Look at those kitties in those flowers. They're so cute. And this is a half meter. It was 300 yen. I still have the price tag. You guys see that? There's some glare from the window. Sorry about that. I'm just gonna throw everything in a pile behind me. And then this fabric. This one was a little bit pricier because I found it at an independent shop, not one of the bigger stores. But look at this. Look at these kitties. They're so cute. So, this last time I bought a lot of cat fabric. It kind of varies. Sometimes I'll end up buying just Japanese prints, which I did buy a bunch of. They're in a box, which is actually what the mirror is sitting on behind the camera. So I won't be pulling that out. But yeah, typically I buy Japanese prints because they're harder to find here stateside. But I found a lot of cat prints this time, and so I bought a lot of cat prints. What else we got? I mentioned I bought a bunch of stuff for project bags. I gotta show you guys this. These are zippers, 3 different colors, and look how long these are. And they come with 3 zipper pulls per. So you just cut the length you need, and you move the zipper pull down to where you're going to cut it. Cut off the zipper length you need, and there you go. You got 3 zippers in one. These were 100 yen each from a store called Seria. Let me see if I can get it. Maybe. Can I show you how long these are? Look how long these are. And these were the only colors they had of these. But they're 110 centimeters, which I can't convert that in my brain. But it's a couple feet. Couple feet of zippers for $1. I can make 3 big project bags per zipper for that. I also got a couple packs of these smaller zippers. You probably can't see them because these ones are black. But there's 4 20 centimeter zippers in here. I figured these would be good for like smaller project bags or little accessory pouches. This one does have the conversion on it. 7.8 inches. 4 for $1. These are from Daiso. I don't know. Can I get that logo in there? There you go. That's probably copyright, but whatever. Yeah. Daiso actually has some quality sewing supplies. Some of it is sketch. There's always kind of like questionable things. I have a bag of stuff down there that I bought from a Daiso here in the States, down in Linwood, which is just north of Seattle. And so I was thinking to either test them out, or I might make a little video, be like, hey look, here's some fabric scissors that I got from Daiso for $1.50. Let's test them out. I have some thread snips that I bought at Daiso in Japan, and they're amazing. They're my best thread snips. Like, I should have bought more of them. Put some in every single project bag. It'd be great. What else did I buy? Not a lot. I did buy some stuff from a local quilt shop and a local needlework shop. I have one. Let me show you this pattern. I might have to take it out of the pack because it's in plastic, so there might be glare. But I saw this and I had to buy it. I don't typically buy quilt patterns. I kind of just browse for like a geometric pattern that I find interesting, and then I kind of like draft my own version of it, and that's what I work with, which can be a pain in the butt when you have to figure out yardages on your own. But this one I made an exception. and it's called Fabulous Greek Felines. Let me see if I can get, oh, there's glare. Can you guys see that? Look how cute those cats are. And I decided it was worth the money because the pattern comes with all of the applique pattern pieces for the cats. You just have to cut them out. I mean, it doesn't come from the fabric. You cut out the paper pattern and then trace it onto your fabric. But it comes with all the pattern pieces. And that is something that I would not be able to draft on my own. I don't have that skills. So, I sprung for that one. Stitchy stuff related, I did go on a little bit of a shopping spree at my local needlework shop. And I spent a bunch of money on thread. I believe the shop is called Thread Needle Street. It's down in Issaquah, Washington, which is, if you're in Seattle, you would get on the I-90 towards Spokane, and it's about 15 minutes down the I-90, if you don't include traffic. So I did have to go around a couple fender benders, which happens frequently in just about any big city. So yeah, I found a whole bunch of thread. I'm pretty new to overdyes. I haven't worked with them a lot. I've got one project that I'm working with it. So I was like, I like these colors, and I don't know how many skeins I would need for a project, so I just bought some. So I found a good amount of Classic Colorworks Bing Cherry. I don't know if I'll be able to get that. Okay, it's a dark red, variegated. Let's see if I can. It's not going to show up. So I bought 3 skeins of that. I got an assortment of teals, 2 Classic Colorworks and 1 Gentle Arts, and this is what they look like. You can see the one from Gentle Arts and the darker Classic Colorworks look pretty similar. But this one is called Really Tealy. It's a light. It's only got a little bit of variegation to it. This one is called Bejeweled. And it's kind of like a medium greeny teal. There we go. There's a little bit of the color. And I thought that went really well. And then this one, Gentle Arts Mediterranean Sea. Let's see. I'm trying to get it to show the color without like blowing out the exposure. Can you guys see that? It's not showing up really well. Maybe the back here. There's like a stripe of the lighter color. There we go. That's a little bit closer. It doesn't help that my sewing room walls are yellow, which is doing wonders for color accuracy on my camera. Some other ones, I picked up a skein of Weeks Dye Works Amethyst, which that is not wanting to focus. There we go. It's kind of like a light purple, kind of a lavendery color. I haven't worked with Weeks Dye Works before, so I figured I'd grab a skein and see what happens. Just sub out a purple. It's got it's not super severe variegation, but it's noticeable. So, and then I needed another skein of Gentle Arts Hyacinth for the project that I'm working on. I'm getting close to the end of the skein that I bought. The pattern says I only need 1. But I'm getting close enough to make myself a little nervous. And I do like this color, so. And that's this one. Let's see. Maybe if I get it like really close. It's looking a little gray, honestly, on the camera. Do I have a white piece of paper maybe? I do. let's just blow out the exposure on the camera here. So let's try this. And that is not showing up at all. So much for the trusty white piece of paper. Let's just get rid of that. But yeah. So this was for a project that I have going on. And then these are just because they're gorgeous. And having bought that one skein of Threadworks in Japan, it is amazing to work with. And they had these for a good price. These were the last two skeins that they had of this particular color. But it's just so gorgeous. And this is Threadworks 11384. I know that it has an actual name, but I haven't looked it up. Look at this thread. Look at this thread, you guys. It's so bright. It's like a variegated electric blue. And it's amazing. Try and get... There we go. And one skein does read a little bit lighter than the other, both on the camera and real life. But being variegated, I can't tell if it's just because the way it's twisted, or if it's two different dye lots. But I don't care, because it's variegated. And since each one of these is 20 yards, I think I might do a project that's monochrome. That way, put a little variation in there, but, you know. Let me just repile everything up. Alrighty, it looks like I'm running out of time on my timer, so I'm gonna go ahead and pause the video and start recording again so I have time to reset, and then we'll get on to all of my stitching that I've been doing for the last 2 months now. So yeah, see you in a sec. Alrighty, we're back on. And let's move on to stitchy stuff. There's quite a bit, because it's been 2 months, and Mania happened in that time. So I have a whole pile right here of new starts. I've got some whips that were pre-existing. I've got a couple of my VAPs that I was working on. They're just tucked under the table right here. I'll bring those up in a sec. So yeah, let's just start with existing projects. Let's start with VAPs. So my longest running project is the Epic Pokemon. And I kind of put it on my Mania calendar to work on, because I wanted to do new starts, but I also wanted to get some work done on existing projects. I knew that my trip to Tokyo was going to kind of bisect Mania. So I was already losing a few days, and I figured, you know, I don't have enough projects to start one every single day of Mania, so let's just kind of wing it. And for my BAPs that I ended up working on, I just worked it around that I would start a new color that I hadn't worked on in that part of the chart yet. I also worked on a new page a little bit, kind of to mix things up and to get some threads out of the way. So here's where I'm at now. I'm almost at the end of this row. So a little bit more. I've got Articuno right here that I need to finish, and then the very start of Flareon. If you're familiar with Pokemon, you'll know who those are. And then this side will be done. And then also a little bit that I worked on was down here. I had a couple threads that were just hanging out from when I was parking on the way down, and so I just kind of took care of those, and I put in a couple new strands just to switch things up. And yeah, I think I worked on Pokemon 2 or 3 days out of Mania. I did get a new little needle minder that I made when I was in Tokyo. They had one of these, you know those squished coin machines where you put the penny in and then you put your quarters in to pay for it and it like flattens the penny and puts a design on it? Well, they had those, except not with actual pennies because it was Japan, so they don't have copper coins. But it just used a copper blank, and you put in. It was a lot more expensive than when I was a kid. When I was a kid, it was like 25, 50 cents. This was 200 yen, which is $2. But I figured, why not? It's cute, and it's cheaper than anything else in the Pokemon Center, because in Japan, they have stores that are Pokemon centers. There are 3 in Tokyo. I've been to all 3. It's a fun experience. I recommend it if you go to Tokyo. But this one was in the Tokyo Station place. Let me see. I can't see what I'm doing, so I'm just gonna take it off of the project. I don't have a super good magnet on the back of it anyways, so. But this is what it looks like. See if I can get. Let me just see if I can. I cannot get anything to focus today, can I? There we go. Can you guys see that? Look at it. It's a little Pikachu wearing a train conductor hat. I don't know if you can see it or not. It looks so tiny in the mirror behind the camera. But yeah, it's just got a little Pikachu and he's wearing a little train conductor hat and it says Tokyo Station above it, because that's where I got it. And I just glued a little magnet on the back of it. And that's how it works. I need to put a stronger magnet as its backer. Right now I just had like a crappy, one of the crappy like compressed type magnets. And it doesn't stay very well. I might get another thing of ceramic magnets to kind of use as a backer. But yeah. So that's where this project is. The other one that I worked on was a project that I had kind of originally wanted to give up on because it wasn't coming out good. And I'm glad that I didn't actually abandon it, that I just kind of tucked it away. Because now that I've put some significant time on it and I've got a couple columns over, here, let me trying to tidy up the threads because I've been parking on here. But this is my Sensoji Temple pattern, and it's currently on my little fake Hobby Lobby Q-snaps. But here's where it is. When I'm working on it and I'm real up close, I don't like how it looks. But when I move it back, and it kind of like blends. It's a lot darker than I wanted it to be, but when it kind of blends together, and I hold it a ways away, the 3-foot rule. Move yourself back, because sometimes we're too close to our projects and it starts to look a little funky. But when you hold it a ways away, like as far away as you would stand when it was on the wall, it starts to look okay. So I'm going to finish out the page and see where it is. And yeah, go from there. It's growing on me. So, and this project is 1/1 on 28 count fabric. And it's like natural oatmeal something or other. Pretty sure I bought it at Joann's or Michael's or somewhere. It came in a tube from a big box store. But I like the color for how it matches with the pattern, so I'm just going with it. Alright, and that's it for big projects that I worked on. Now we can get into all of my new starts. So, you might notice the odd cut in the video. Sorry about that. It's the next day. I went to move the video from my camera onto my computer and start editing it, and after about the point I cut off, if you hadn't noticed, we're starting to get a lot of background interference in the audio, and it was about maybe another minute in, it started sounding like there was a blender full of screws in the background. So I decided to just scrap it and start over, and so here we are. At that point, I think I went past my BAPs, and I was going to start in on my Mania starts and new projects. So here we go. These are not going to be in any special order. I don't remember which ones I started first and which ones went in at what day, but we're just gonna, they're all just piled up around here. I pulled everything out of their little plastic bag so I don't have all the crinkly noises going on. So, first one is from my Big Toe Designs. It's called Holy, 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 and it will be a gift for my grandmother once I finish it, and this is what the pattern looks like. It is on, let me flip this over here, 32 count, I believe this is water lily, but I suspect I actually bought something else. I don't know where my little tag went. So this is where I'm at. I got pretty good progress. I made a little bit of a start, and then this is the project I took with me to Japan. So I've been making really good progress on it. This is where I'm at. I've got the top band done. Zoom in a little there. And then all of the top words, most of the center bold text. And then I've gotten a start on the lower letters. And this is the project that, as I mentioned before, I bought the Threadworks for, and that's what this color is. It's Threadworks. Where is the tag? Well, the tag says 114, but I know that that is not the correct number. This is the number that the shop I bought it from uses. Looks like it might be 1022. Is the alternate? I have it written down. Let me just pull out. So much for not having plastic crinkles in my video. Let's see. It is Threadworks. Yeah, I still can't read it. I looked it up online. I have it written in my little stitch journal tracker that I use for all of my whips. So it is written down somewhere, and I will look it up for next time that I stitch on this. It's going pretty good. I had wanted to get it done for my grandmother's birthday, but since that's in 6 days, I don't think that's going to be finished and framed and ready to go. So now that's become a Christmas present. You know, it happens. Up next is, I believe this is my first ever, yes, this is will be my first Teresa Wentzler. It's a pattern from For the Love of Cross Stitch. Let's see, what is September 1998. So this pattern is 20 years old, guys. But it will be my first Teresa Winsler. It's called Victorian Roses. Let me see if I can zoom in there. Get the glare off the page. And I didn't get a huge start on it because I didn't really properly kit it up. I just kind of grabbed some random threads, but it has a lot of blends, guys. And I'm not a fan of blends. And it's got quarter cross blends. Like, where it's just like 1/4 of a cross stitch in a blend. And it'll be like just that single one stitch. Not like 3, just 1. So it's got some crazy confetti. I might just fudge it a little when I get to stitching. But as you can see, I did not get an incredible start on it. Just this little bit in the center. This is the fabric. Just this little bit in the center there. Believe it or not, that's actually like 5 colors. But yeah, this is some 14 count Aida. I believe it's 14 count. Yeah, 14 count Aida that I had in my stash that I was experimenting with dyeing myself. It wasn't a complete failure. I didn't ruin the fabric. But believe it or not, this was supposed to be purple. Like a dark purple. And whatever blue part of the dye was making it purple didn't stick. Just got a little bit of the red, which turned it pink. And I did treat it with a salt bath ahead of time, so it was probably because I wasn't using proper dye, but that's neither here nor there. It was an experiment. Now I know that those colorants don't work. Where am I going to put this? Floor. I'll clean up afterwards. Again. The next one is from a Leisure Arts booklet called Because of Spring. It's a Paula Vaughn pattern. This is what the booklet looks like. This is just a little thing that either somebody gave me or I found it at Goodwill and thought it was cute or something. Probably something somebody gave me. The pattern I'm doing is this little watering can here. There we go. Can we get it? There we go. So that's the one I'm doing. And I got a decent start. Once again, this is on fabric that I experimented with dyeing myself. And so this is how far I got. This is some of the grass underneath the little watering can, and this is from the shadow on the dirt behind the handle. Just zoom in there. I believe this is 16 count Aida. And I was just using this fabric because I had it, sitting around, and I figured I might as well. Why not? And I'll have like a whole nother half of it. This whole side. After I'm done. To do something else. Whether I want to do another one of these little patterns or not. And it is pretty little. The watering can is a whopping 72 by 62 stitches. So it's a little one. There's a couple others. Let's see. The wheelbarrow is 99 by 64. So I could turn it sideways and do on that one. And where's the wheelbarrow? The wheelbarrow is this little one. I'm going to fight with the glare. I was fighting with it last time. Now that I have to refilm, I'm going to fight fight with it again. That's what I get for having an overhead light, I guess. Alrighty. On to some of the more exciting projects. This is one that I bought specifically for Mania. I've been eyeing it for a while because I like it, and it's kind of gonna come as a surprise to no one based on some of my other stitches and my vacation tendencies. But the next one is Pretty Little Tokyo from Satsuma Street. This is the front. And this is getting really washed out. The colors are very vibrant. And I did not put it on the called for fabric. I wasn't feeling the oatmeal Ada. So I ended up getting, let's see, this is 32 count Summer Sky Jobelin, I believe. And this is how far I got on Pretty Little Tokyo. See, I've got the buildings. I believe those are towers in Shinjuku. Might be wrong. That's what they make me think of, though. And then you got the start and the outline of Mount Fuji. This is like the snow line. And then this weird triangle arch shape down here will be where the bridge fills in. And I'm really loving this fabric. It is so soft. I think this was the first time I worked with a proper over-dyed fabric. So, I don't know. Can you guys see how pretty sky blue? It looks like a slightly cloudy sky blue summer day. And I liked that for Tokyo. I thought it fit. So that's where I'm at on that one. Next up is another little pattern. This is called Victorian Violets, and it's from Just Nan. This is what it looks like. Let's see if I can zoom in. Let's zoom in on this bigger one. So yeah, that's that one. I ended up putting it on totally different fabric. And this is, I want to say this is a, let's see if I can spot the card down there. Or let's just, you know what, let's just pull out my little notebook. This is not the right notebook. Here we go. I keep keep track of my whips in my little, got a little Pikachu notebook. It's cute. It was like $1 or something on clearance at a shop around town. So I figured it would work. Here you go. It's 36 count Phantom Edinburgh linen. And this is where I'm at. Let me see if I can just, here, let's just turn it upside down. Or maybe right side up. I don't remember. There you go. There you're getting some of the colors through there. But here's where I'm at. I can't tell if that is focused or if it's blurry. I'm sorry if it's blurry. Kind of rushing through this. But I'm really liking how the white lattice that sits behind the flowers in the pattern is looking on this linen. And normally I'm not a linen stitcher. I prefer Jobelin or Lugana. I'm definitely an even weave stitcher. But I decided to give this one a try because I wasn't particularly concerned if it came out a little stretched one way or another. Whereas my other projects before have pretty much, if it started to get distorted, it would totally ruin the way it looks. But this one, I'm kind of liking it. It's a lot rougher than what I was expecting, but it's pretty close to even. I think when I counted it, it was like 35 by 37 or something like that. So 36 count, makes sense. And that's it for projects I started. I probably worked on some of my other ones. I think I put a few stitches into Flowers of the Month, probably on another like border or something. I might have worked on Welcome to Rivendell. Not 100%. I don't remember if I did. I didn't write it down. So, yeah. That's it for ones that I started. I had one more that I had kitted up ready to go, and I didn't end up starting it. So I'll just go ahead and show it as like haul. Because I bought it for Mania, and then I forgot to put it in the haul section. So we're doing another haul. Especially because it's the next day after filming and I did go to the store, so I have some more stuff sitting right behind me. I'll show you guys these in a second. So the next one that I kitted up, and I was really excited by this, and I bought it at the same time I bought the pattern for Pretty Little Tokyo. So it's another Satsuma Street. But it is her newest of the Pretty Little cities, and it's Pretty Little Seattle. And living just north of Seattle, I thought it was appropriate, especially because when she released this, she did a sale. So I got one of them, it was like 10% off, I think, or something like that. Or it might have been buy one, get one 50%. I'm not sure. It was on sale, so I figured might as well. And I bought them directly from her Etsy, so I don't feel bad about it. And the fabric I got, once again, I was not feeling the Ada that the pattern calls for. So I ended up getting another 32 count because I wanted it to be the same size as Pretty Little Tokyo. But I definitely wanted it to have its own feel. And what I ended up buying was 32 count Vintage Stormy Night. And it's like this gray mottled murky sky looking fabric, which for Seattle is perfect. So that's what that's gonna go on. I'm not 100% sure when I'm gonna start it. Probably soon, because I've been itching to work on one of them. So yeah, I'll show you guys when I finally get that started and see how it's going. I do have all of the DMC threads for it. They're all in one of the bags that's on the floor that I'll have to sort through when I'm done. But yeah. And that's it for projects that I started, that I worked on, that I kitted up. And that should bring us up to date for when I do my next video. Now let's jump over and do a little bit more haul. So I decided to pop into Hobby Lobby yesterday afternoon, and I went in just for some more just plain white even weave, and so I got it. I bought a giant one. There's freaking glare. And it's $20 for a 30 by 36 piece of just white even weave. And this is great for my giant full coverage pieces. So why not? I mean, $20. Use the 40% off coupon. It's like $14. $12? $12. It's like $12 after the coupon. I needed another skein of DMC 347. So I picked that up when I was there. And that's what I went in for. Was that fabric and some and then one more skein of floss. Well, I happened to walk past the sewing section, like you do, and I noticed that they had a big clearance sign above their zippers, 75% off. So I wandered over there, and I ended up coming home with 24 zippers for like $8. look at all these guys. I'm dropping them. I'm like, 2 hands. Look at this. 2 hands worth of zippers. A billion different colors. It's so hard to handle all of these at once. Here we go. Look at all this craziness, guys. I'm dropping them on the floor. There went one. I don't even know what color it was. But I've got quite a few. There's some... Most of them are either 14 or 16-inch zippers, because that's what I'll use for project bags. There was a couple, like this dark teal one. This is a 9-inch zipper. I figured this would be good for doing like some little accompaniment bags, little notions bags. But like, look at some of these colors. This is like, they call this one parakeet. I think it's more peacock blue. There we go, there's the color. That's actually pretty true, I think. There's some like, got some pink ones. I don't know if that's showing up. There you go. I got like this quite a vibrant purple, which is reading black on there, but it's purple, I swear. And like, there's this one, they call this one Caribbean blue, which is more, it's more of like a vintage mint green. If you can see that, you see that color? It's a little bit more teal than a mint green. But they call it Caribbean blue, and to me, that's not Caribbean blue. But it was 49 cents. So I bought it. There's a black one that escaped. So yeah, that was my little mini Hobby Lobby zipper haul. And I'm glad that I went in there, because I probably would have missed out on that. And I've got a whole pile of fabric over, just out of frame that way, sitting next to the sewing machine, ready to go and be cut for project bags that I'm gonna experiment with making. I kind of think I figured out how I like them, but I'm still playing around a little bit. That's what this little mini thing up here is. You guys want to see it? It is vinyl front. And I got a zipper top. It's a little sticky. It's an old zipper. But yeah, vinyl front. Just black on the back. Got a little bit of weird stitching, but I mean, it was a little test pouch, and it's a useful size. It'll fit my little scissors and a pack of needles, and then I can throw it in a project bag, and it's good to go. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it, everybody. Hopefully this video's audio turns out okay. I was really mad that the audio was crap on the other video, but cross our fingers. It's going to end up being longer than the original clip, but oh well. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Come back for the next one whenever that ends up being uploaded. I still have no idea, but I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.